Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Daniel Bear here from AdWordsNerds.com. And in this video, I thought I would do something a little bit different. This is actually an excerpt from a coaching call in our sort of coaching program that's designed to help real estate investors run their own Google Ads and SEO. It's called the REI Marketing Mastery Program. Anyway, on this call, we actually had a 17-year-old who's getting into real estate investing, working with one of our clients, came on the call and said, "Hey, can you kind of give me an overview of what Google Ads are and how you can use them to find motivated sellers?" So in this video, it's an excerpt from that coaching call where I go over kind of how I think about what Google Ads really are, how they fit into the real estate investing marketing ecosystem, and I go fairly deep into keyword strategy, how to think about what keywords you choose, how that affects your strategy and your outcome. So without any further ado, let's get into the video where I explain Google Ads in a nutshell to a 17-year-old real estate investor.
I'm 17 getting into real estate, and I guess he wanted me like watch and learn how y'all do it.
Let's talk about it in a general way. And I will say, so if this is something you want to dig into more, let me know. We have courses, right? So these calls generally are people that are getting coaching. So we have courses and stuff that I teach my methodology, and then I can add you to those. Google, obviously, big company, runs ad network that is one of the largest and spreads across a couple different things. We've got Google search ads. It's typically what you think about if you go on Google and you just type in "sell my house fast" as an example. This stuff, all this stuff that says ads, these first four sort of listings are paid listings. Those are Google search ads. Then you have YouTube. Every ad on YouTube, whether that's a image over in the corner, the video that runs before the actual thing that you want to watch, the thing that it's hammer the skip button to watch, at least I do. Those are also Google ads. So that's the YouTube network. We also have something called the Google Display Network, which is, let's say you go on like cnet.com. I think this might be a good example. And they've got, for example, this ad right here, this image ad. This is a Google Display Network ad. I'm almost pretty sure. Yeah. So you can see down here at the bottom, the ad network. So that's Google Display Network. So those are third-party websites that display image ads. All that falls under the Google Ads banner, right? So it's a lot of different stuff, and those things perform very differently. They generate different types of traffic, right? Generally, when investors or people in real estate are talking about Google Ads, what they're talking about are search ads. They want somebody who's, I really need to sell my house. They go to Google, they type in, "Damn, I need to sell this house. Like, I hate myself. I want to." It's 4 in the morning. They're really stressed out. They're typing that in, and they want to get in front of that person and generate that person as a lead. And so that is what most investors think of when they think about Google Ads. And I would say when people are doing Google Ads for real estate, that's 98% of the game is search. Okay. So we're primarily going to talk about search, not really going to worry about the ton of other stuff. However, for other industries, obviously YouTube displays, those are huge deals and they're valuable skill sets and all that. When you are getting into Google Ads or doing search ads, you got a couple different pieces to your general strategy that you're thinking about putting together. You've got the keywords, which are what you tell Google that you want. You've got the ads, which is the thing you show the person. You've got the landing page, which is wherever you're sending them. So if I have an ad and I send them to my website at AdWordsNerds.com, you click the ad, you end up here. This is the landing page. Okay. And then obviously you got everything you do with the lead after that fact, you follow up. In any case, like I said, we got the keywords, we got the ads, we got the landing page. Those are the core components of any online marketing strategy. So let's start with keywords because those are probably the most important. And they're less important than they used to be in many ways, but they are still the way that we tell. They're basically the way you drive the ship. You steer the ship, you drive the car, whatever the metaphor is. They give you the direction that you want to be in. So I'm going to start here. All these are campaigns in a Google Ads account, this stuff here. Okay. So each of these would have a separate budget. We're going to be running this one to start. So I'm just going to start it by clicking in here. These are ad groups, which are just folders that you put the keywords in. I'm going to go over keywords here, and you'll see the keywords that we're targeting in this campaign. All right. So we're going to talk about this stuff a little bit. No data in here yet because it hasn't run. So these are just sitting in there with 0 of everything. All right. Now, the thing to understand about a keyword, and this is really the key thing to understand about this, is that a keyword is not the same thing that somebody types in. That is called a search query or a search term, because everything's got to be annoying and it's got to have a complicated name. A keyword is like what you tell Google that you want, and how you type in the keyword affects what they match you up with. So for an example, we've got this keyword here, companies that buy houses. Okay. Now that is a broad match keyword. You can see it says broad match here. I could also tell, blow this up a little bit. I can tell that this is a broad match keyword because it's just typed in plain, right? There's none of these weird brackets. There's no quotation marks. It's just plain. Okay. Now what broad match keywords do is basically you tell Google, hey, this is the topic I'm going after. So companies that buy houses. Okay. That's the topic I'm going after. So obviously if someone types in companies that buy houses, you want to show your ad to that person. That's what you're telling Google. But you're also telling Google that if someone types in the word Zillow, you want your ad to show up. And if someone types in the word realtor, you want your ad to show up. And the reason that's the case is that Zillow is a company that buys houses, and a realtor helps people buy houses, and that's like a company, right? So these are all things that are like related, but not exactly the same. And so broad match keywords generate a lot of activity. They generate a lot of eyeballs, what we call impressions. They generate a lot of people seeing the ads, but they're not super focused. They're not super targeted. They're all over the place. You got to know that going in. Yeah. All right. Now, similarly, or actually oppositely, down here, we've got companies that buy houses, same words, companies that buy houses, but here it's in a bracket. You see these two brackets on the end.
Yeah.
That makes that an exact match keyword. And an exact match keyword basically says, only show my ad when they type in this whole thing. So I want to show up when they type in companies that buy houses and nothing. So exact match keywords are really targeted. They're the most targeted specific thing you could possibly do, but not that many people type them in exactly the way that you target. And so they're going to have a lot less activity overall. And then finally, we've got this guy, companies that buy houses, in quotation marks. That's called a phrase match keyword, which basically says, I want you to have the words that are in the quotation marks, but they can add words to the beginning or the end. They can put words in the middle. You can switch it up a little bit, but it's got to be close to this. So it's in the middle. It's in the middle of broad match and exact match. You've got all the words that you're targeting, but there's some variability there. Okay, so they're going to be in the middle in terms of volume and in the middle in terms of focus, targeting, specificity. Okay, yeah. So what words you choose and in what we call these match types, what match types you use determine the types of people who see your ads. And nothing impacts the quality or the outcome of a marketing campaign more than the audience. If I get in front of a group of people who are dying in the desert because their plane crashed and they are dying of dehydration, and I just show up and I'm like, hey, idiots, bottle of water. Like, I'm going to sell that bottle of water for any amount of money. It doesn't matter that I'm the world's worst marketer. It's the audience that matters. So like ultimately, most of the strategy of Google Ads comes down to what keywords do we target? What format do we target? The more you go specific, the more you go focused, more exact match, the higher the quality of the leads, but the less of them there are, and the more expensive they tend to be. And the more broad you go, the bigger the audience, the less specific, the more of them there are, but the lower the quality of the lead and the cheaper they are to get. So this is like the big question. What percentage you do? You don't need to, it doesn't need to be super specific. Like you'll see in the course, I have like lists of keywords that I give people. I usually say, don't overthink it. It's impossible to think of like every keyword ahead of time. Just pick the stuff that you think matters. Choose a strategy that makes the most sense for you, whether it's more conservative or more aggressive or whatever, and then see what happens. So that's keywords.